Most people are not living their lives. They are living inside other people's opinion. Maybe you know this feeling. When someone doesn't like you, you spend a long time to think why. When people say something negative about you or argue with you, you dwell on it, tuning over the meaning of their words, thinking about what you did wrong, blaming yourself, and exhausting your energy. You want to start something, and your first thought is not, do I want this? It's what will people think? You want to express your real thoughts, but before posting, you delete everything. Slowly, you begin to realize you are no longer living for yourself. You care too much about what other people think. And today, I want to talk about why we care so much about other people's opinion and how I slowly started freeing myself from that. If you are pleaser like I am, please watch. If you are narcissistic or are very self-centered, this video is not for you. Why we care so much about other people's think? In the culture I grew up, other people's opinion felt extremely important. From childhood, we are told what teachers think of us, what parents think of us, what relatives think of us, what society think of us, as if our value is decided external. When people praise us, we feel worthy. And when people criticize us, it feels like our whole identity collapses, especially if you are sensitive. One negative comment can stay in your head for days. And over time, something dangerous happens. You stop asking, what do I truly want? And instead, you asking, what version of me will be accepted? We are trained into this unconsciously until you cannot take it anymore and want to be truly you. So how can you stop caring what others think? The moment I began to change, one day I started paying attention to how I judge other people. You can do the same. Notice how you judge others. Yeah, we are human. We do judge. For example, when I see someone living a calm, simple, peaceful, I would comment, that looks nice. Why do I comment like this? I notice something. Whenever I admired someone, it's usually because they represent something I personally valued, the kind of life I'm pursuing and building. But when I see someone constantly chasing excitement, always busy, always surrounded by people, I might comment, oh, that looks exhausting. Why do I judge like this? It doesn't mean their lifestyle is wrong. It simply means that lifestyle is not for me. This realization changed everything because it showed me that our judgment often reveal more about ourselves than other people. And when you realize that, you will see other people's opinions in a totally different way. You will act totally different. When people praise you, you will say thank you, but will not believe it. Why? Let me explain. Someone may say, oh, you understand me so well. Mostly it's not because you can understand everyone so well, but maybe because they have felt emotionally unseen for a long time and you happened to make them feel understood, so they become attached to you. Some people admire the freedom they see in you. Most of the time, it's not really about the freedom you have, but rather because they themselves feel trapped. They see in you a version of life they secretly wish they had the courage to live. Sometimes people strongly support you because you said something they have always believed but never dared to express. You become the voice of thoughts they kept hidden, and that is why they connect with you. Other people's admiration often reflects their needs, not your reality. Most of the time, people's opinions about you are reflections of their inner world, not objectively truth. How about criticism? which disturb us the most. When you know how criticism works, something change. Instead of immediately defending yourself, you will just say, okay, I understand, and leave it at that. When someone criticizes you, the first question is not, are they right? The first question is this a fact or is it an opinion? Someone says you are too quiet. That might be fact. You may actually speak less than average, but when they say, and that's a problem, now we are moved from fact to opinion. The fact is you are quiet. The opinion is being quiet is bad. They are two completely different things. Maybe for other people, they think being quiet is a good trait. Facts can help you grow, but opinions are just interpretations. Don't have to buy every interpretations people offer you. Second, many people judge criticism or dislike you not because you did something terrible, but because you did not fit their projections. Some people want you to be emotional, available all the time, understanding, agreeable, predictable, easy to control. And when you stop playing that role, they become uncomfortable. Suddenly, you are called selfish, cold, difficult, different. But often, this says more about their expectations than your character. Also, differences can trigger fear. Many people struggle to accept differences because when someone lives differently, think differently, or choose differently, it challenges their worldview. They get scared, and instead of questioning themselves, they criticize you because it's easy to do. We do the same. So understand, take the fact, let the opinion be theirs. Because you know the criticism is about them, not about you. You're just a mirror. They need the mirror to speak, to yell, in order to defend their need and identity. There is a famous story about Steven Spielberg. Someone showed him a Time magazine cover featuring him with very flattering words inside. Instead of reading it, Spielberg put the magazine aside and said, if I believe the praise, then I will have to believe the criticism too. That stayed with me. So now, when someone praises me, I say thank you, but I try not to build my identity around it. And when someone criticizes me, I try to understand it without letting it destroy me. This doesn't mean becoming emotionless. It means allowing different opinions to exist without letting them divide you. Truly free people are not people who are loved by everyone. They are people who still know who they are, even when misunderstood. Because the truth is, you cannot live freely and be liked by everyone at the same time. If you pursue freedom, someone will call you selfish. If you choose simplicity, people will call you boring. If you speak honestly, people will feel uncomfortable. This is unavoidable. But the sandy thing is not being disliked. The sandy thing is abandoning yourself to avoid the criticism. Eventually, I started to redefine value. I no longer want my worth to depend on praise, attention, approval, validation. I want it to come from my action, my growth, my consistency, the life I'm building, because external opinions constantly change, but your relationship with yourself is lifelong. I think people are like mountains, and other people's opinions are like wind. One day the wind comes from the east, and the next day it blows from the west. If the mountain constantly reshapes itself for every passing wind, eventually the mountain disappears. So the goal is not to stop the wind. The goal is to strengthen the mountain, build your value, build your inner world, build a life that feels true to you. Let the roots grow deeper, let your inner life become stable. Then other people's opinions become background noise. The wind still exists, but it no longer controls your direction. So if you are currently struggling with other people's opinions, remember this. Most of the time, people are not truly saying you. They are saying themselves suing you. And real freedom begins when you stop asking, how can I accept it? And start asking, who do I actually want to become?